right. Suppose we'll just sit you there, wait a few minutes, see what's going on. Last time we had a volume issue for some strange reason. Not quite sure what the heck happened there. All the mics were on and nothing was disabled, so kind of strange. Hopefully, whoever comes in here first will be able to tell me if they can hear me or not. But yeah, today's just going to be a feeding day. I'm going to feed the horde here. We have the gaboon viper right there, and you see that green little rope right next to it. That's the eastern green mamba, and they live in this cage. They cohabitate, have been for, shoot, better part of a year and a half at least. So, but when we feed them, we cannot feed them while they're laying on each other, because that is a good way to have bad things happen, and that's not what we want. Hello, hello. Hey, are you able to hear me? I'm trying to figure out if everybody can hear me. Of course, it would probably be helpful if I knew how to work this damn thing. Well, where the hell is the chat here? Community moderation. Yeah, we're just getting ready to feed here shortly. If I could figure out how to see the... But I guess I don't get to see the chat. But yeah, we got green mamba, western gaboon viper. We got forest cobra on the bottom. Over here, we got the lazy, or at the moment, we got the lazy freaking Indian cobra right there. In the middle, we got the coral cobra, which is probably not going to be seen today because he hides in there, in the rocks in there. Down at the bottom, you can see the rhino viper. And then what else do we got here? We got the albino western diamondback right there. Inside the little hut is the albino monocled cobra. And on the bottom there is the Costa Rican rattlesnake. Fart on the tortuga. You want me to fart on the turtle? Charlie? Okay. Hi. Hey, can you guys hear me? I just want to double check, make sure everybody can hear me, because we had a little issue last time and I still have no idea what the heck happened. Monthly paint. Hey, can you hear me? Loud and clear, Joshua. Thank you. Yeah. I wish the king cobra was out, but it is not out. Let's get a fart for George Floyd. Come on, man. And then we got down there, we got our big boy, well, our growing big boy. Hi, are you dumbass? Okay, I don't know if you're talking to me or what, but that's kind of weird. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get a mouse for the Indian. Oh, you know what? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, so much for feeding the spectacled cobra here, because I just saw her eyeballs. And she's in shed. You see those eyes right there? That's about as milky as it gets for an Indian cobra. So, unfortunately, she will not get fed. And that's just the way it be sometimes. So, we're going to drop down to the rhino viper down at the bottom. Bring the camera lower here so everybody can see. And we're fortunate because normally this guy is inside the hide box there. And today is one of the rare exceptions where he is not. So, let's go ahead and undo his little lock here. Get you guys just a little bit closer, see what's going on here. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay. Or what? Good God. Okay, so this guy's always ready to eat for the most part. And we're gonna hook him up. But I like to take the mice right here, and I like to dry them off with a old crappy dirty towel that we don't use to wash with. And I just did that real quick. So let's see what we got going on here. move our camera right here. There we go. So this rhino viper was produced by Rick Tozer in Texas. What's up, buddy? Huh? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Holy cow. So he ain't playing no games. Not in my state. No. Lots of people own them here. There's certain counties where you can't own snakes that are a certain length, like up in Montgomery County in northern Oregon. So, but there we have success. We'll go ahead and close this. And I think the next snake we're going to eat, the next snake we're going to eat, the next snake we're going to feed will be the albino western diamondback right over here. Sorry guys, I'm a one-man show, so I got to constantly move the camera and make sure it's all good. But there's our albino diamondback right there. So this snake has actually been in the family since it was born. Well, about 5 days after it was born or so. My brother had it for like 9 years, and then he got to where he didn't want to keep Venomous anymore, and he gave it to me. So we thought it was a male the entire time, and it turns out it's a female because she laid a slug a few weeks ago. So here we go. All right, what you think? So most of the time on the first mouse, she'll just bite it and let it go, but sometimes we get lucky. There you go. Are you ready? Whoa! And that's why we use tools like this to keep the pointy end away from my hand. So try to be as safe as we possibly can. So, okay. Here, you want to take it? You want to take it? There we go. Okay. We're just going to set it right there for a second. And that's mango, by the way, the albino western diamondback. Okay, here we go. All right, so the green mamba has left the comfort of the gaboon viper, and we are going to feed the eastern green mamba. This, I forget who I bought this from, but it was born right here in the U.S., and he was about the size of a number 2 pencil when I got him, and now he's right at about 5 feet. So let's go ahead and keep the glass between me and the snake, because if this snake bites me, I'm probably going to die, and that's not what I want to happen. So, here we go. What's up, bud? Here. You want it? I know you do. Ooh. Go ahead. There we go. Eastern green mamba. Yeah, you know what? These are arboreal snakes, so they're not thick-bodied snake, but this snake, as far as mambas go, this snake is as healthy as it gets. Imagine that highly neurotoxic venom sinking into your finger or your hand or whatever. Unfortunately, this proved fatal for Dingo Dinkelman several months ago. You know, but he had 2 things against him. He was allergic to the venom and the antivenom, from what I understand, and just sad all around. So we try to not recreate that. So, all right. So we're gonna let him eat, and now we got the big forest cobra down here, and she's definitely ready for food because she just shed this massive shed right here. Right, so the snake itself is 7.5 feet long, and you can see this is well longer than I am. You know, it's not stretched out or nothing. So whatever. If you want a forest cobra shed, hit me up. I will make it happen. Let's name him Bojangles. That's actually string bean, the eastern green mamba. Crispy skin. So we got the big forest cobra down here, and she will come out, and we got a supersized meal for her, so she can eat it just about as big as it comes. So, down here. And so she's right over there, and when we open the cage, she's definitely going to come right over. So, we'll slide that open. Grab her rat. I have all the rats already pre-thawed, but I like to wring out the excess water. That way bark doesn't get stuck to it, you know, because I don't want the snake swallowing the bark. So we're going to pass on that. So set that right there for a second while I get disgusting here and touch this thing. Ring it off with the raggedy towel. And then we'll go from there. Hey! Yeah, the only thing with her is she takes freaking forever to eat. All right, are you awake? Hello? Don't tell me you're freaking like asleep or some junk. Hey, come get your food. I know you ain't asleep. Probably trying to lure me into my death. Oh, there we go. Yes, she might have been sleeping. And she's definitely hungry. So this is a South African forest cobra, Naya melanoliaca. And I got her, gosh, she was about 2 feet long when I got her, something like that. And she is over 7 at this point. So she is a massive, not a giant. I wouldn't say she's a giant because she's definitely not. But she is definitely a massive forest cobra. A giant, you know, giant forest cobras can hit 9 feet. I mean, they're the largest and longest true cobra, which the king cobra is not a true cobra, but it is the longest venomous snake on the planet. Woo. Yeah, right? So, there she is. She's probably going to hold on to that rat for literally 20 minutes before she even starts to eat it. And we're not going to sit around for that. So, we got the mamba up here. We're going to close the glass down there. And we're just going to let the mamba do its thing. And make sure we close the glass all the way down at the bottom. Okay. All right. Stream bean, eat your mouse. Yeah, that snake is definitely fast. So, it's one of the things when you're keeping venomous snakes like that, man, you just got to be aware of what they can do because, you know, if I was inexperienced and having an animal like that, that thing could have come out and I could have reacted wrong and that could have cost me my life right there. Because as far as venom toxicity is concerned, forest cobras are on the high end and that's just bad venom, bad stuff. So now we're going to feed Steve, the blackthroat monitor. And it's always fun to feed Steve. Because Steve will run around and act crazy and... What's up, dude? What's up? You want a rat? I know you want a rat. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Come chase it. Come chase it. Around the bucket. Ah, man, I was going to make you go around the bucket. And he just grabbed that son of a gun. So, Steve, the blackthroat monitor lizard, is... I want to say he's probably 2.5 years old, give or take. I haven't had it since it was a hatchling, but he is solid 7 pounds, something in that neighborhood. And full grown, he'll be 50 pounds. Yeah, Steve is pretty chill, except for when it comes to eating. Steve doesn't mess around with his food. He wants that shit right now. So he's already almost got that thing down. We're going to grab his second rat. And these are medium rats. They're not XL or anything like that. And he is definitely capable of eating some food. But he gets a varied diet. As a matter of fact, last week he had a couple trout. So, cool. Are you done yet? What, are you having issues putting the tail? Oh, I see what the problem is. Half the tail sticking out of his mouth. What's up, Chai Chai? Yeah. But yeah, no, when we first got Steve, he was all about whipping you with his tail, and now he's got to be in a mood to do that, and it doesn't happen that often. Hey! Oh. Come on, come here. I know you want it. Oh. Come on. I like to make him work for his food just a little bit. Whoa. Come here. Come on, Steve. He's like, dude, I just ate a rat. You got to give me a freaking second. All right, fine. Here, take it. Oh, you putting it down still? Ooh, There we go. Come on. There we go. Dude, it's already dead, I promise you. It's already dead. You goofy ass lizard. It's dead, bro. Dude, you're killing that mouse in its freaking afterlife, for God's sake. If you shred that thing open and you spill it all over the carpet, I'm going to be pissed. That was a crunch of a skull right there. Okay. While he's doing that, matter of fact, you know what? Steve, we're going to put you back in your home. So, just for those of you who don't know, this dual enclosure you see here, These are 10 feet long, 3 feet from top to bottom, and 3 feet deep. So we got Dave the king cobra in there, and he's in shed right now, so we're not going to see him today, unfortunately. And Steve the blackthroat lives down there. So, dude, see, you ate the other one in like 2 seconds, and this one you want to play with. He just wants to play with it. So here, let me give you some perspective on how big he is. All right, there. My hand, I got good sized hands maybe. So I'll give you some perspective there. Dude, god dang, man, all I'm hearing is crunching of freaking bones on your butt. Jesse, I did the Costa Rican rattlesnake that lives down there for the first year of its life, and I got it ever since it was born. It wouldn't touch anything that wasn't alive. And that sucked because that means I had to go all the way to the pet store and I had to buy a freaking adult mouse for $5.50. But I kept trying, and one day, after he was about a year old, he finally said screw it and started eating frozen thawed, and he's never stopped since. So, and we will see him shortly. All right, I'm going to set this right there. I'm going to grab Steve's butt. All right, dude. All right, there you go. There's Steve's butt. All right, get inside there. Yeah, get inside there. Go, get in there. You freaking turd head. I love this freaking lizard, man. All right, we're gonna go ahead and lock his cage. You know, I had to use these wedges, right? And I use them anyway, right? To keep these oversized cages closed because there's no gap back there for the common jeweler's lock. But I wasn't keeping one on his cage. And these sections of glass, these things weigh like 35 pounds. And one day he figured there was a tiny little gap in there, and he put his claw in there. If you can see, there's a tiny little gap right there, and he was able to put his claw in there. And literally, I came in here right after he knocked my laptop off the freaking computer desk right there. So now we just use a little wood wedge like that, slam it in there like that, and he can no longer open it. So, anyway, next freaking snake is the albino monocled cobra. So we're going to go ahead and set up for that right now. She's inside there. So, I don't know if any of you saw the video, right? Right here are a couple of eggs that the never before mated monocled cobra laid. And I was like, what the hell, right? So she actually laid a bunch of them, and now some of them started rotting or whatever. But then there was a few left. And I was thinking these are done too, and I was about to go throw them in the trash, and I decided I wanted to cut one open. And lo and behold, an unmated monocled cobra had there was a living embryo inside the egg that I had just killed, you know, for lack of a better word. But had I not done that, I would have thrown all three of them away in the trash, and I never would have known. So the other two eggs are presumably still alive, and this is what is called parthenogenesis, when a snake reproduces by itself. And that is freaking cool. All right, I'm gonna grab my mouse here. Well, he gets a medium rat, so no mice for this guy, or gal. All right, dry this thing off with a towel real quick. And here we go. I'm gonna imagine, sometimes she eats right away, sometimes she doesn't. So I guess we're just gonna have to see here. Yeah, Robert. Yes, I do have a king cobra. It's inside its hide box right now because it's in shed. So unfortunately, we're not going to see it during this video. It's a king cobra bred by Andy Maddox out of Texas, and it just turned 2 years old about a week ago. All right, there's my little sticker right there, and he's just under 8 feet long. Oh, here we go. All right, monocled cobra is ready for some food. Look at that. There's the albino monocled cobra right there. Hey, what's up, Dan? How you doing, buddy? But yes, Robert, I do have a king cobra. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. This snake ain't playing. She's not playing. This snake right here was bred by Miguel Joliffe. So, and I've had this snake for 2.5 years, close to 3 years, something like that. And she rarely disappoints when it comes to feeding. But yeah, a very, very cool event occurred when she laid eggs that were actually fertile. It's called parthenogenesis, and basically they are clones of the mother since there was no sperm from a male snake involved. So, pretty rare event in and of itself, and the fact that a monocled cobra did it, I can't find anywhere on the internet where anybody talked about monocled cobras doing it. So, could be a very unique event to happen. So, anyway, that is all that snake gets. This big, beautiful beast right here. And we're going to go ahead and close up her cage. Matter of fact, before we do that, her water is basically dry. So we're going to go ahead and top that off real quick. No big deal. Not going to bother her at all. And we do have the trash can in here that we can do some spot cleaning with. So I just get that little spot that I saw right here while her fangs are otherwise engaged. I try my best to keep these cages as clean as absolutely possible. So there's nothing worse than walking into somebody's house who's a reptile collector and you can smell the reptiles from the driveway. I don't ever want to be that person. Okay, get in there. Hold on. Of course. I got the wrong one on there. Of course I got the wrong one on there. Anyway, there we go. And now we are all safe and sound. So, next animal on the agenda is on the bottom there. We're going to go ahead and feed the Costa Rican rattlesnake. And he or she, whatever, has heard the rustling, not heard, but felt the rustlings going on. Snakes can't hear, obviously. And this snake is ready to eat. So, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. This is Crotalus culminatus. And from what I understand, possibly the third largest rattlesnake species on the planet. But either way, still a big species of rattlesnake nonetheless. Okay, let's go ahead and open that. Yeah. Yo, look at that. You are freaking ready, huh? You guys see that strike right there? It was a fake strike. It wasn't any more than a couple inches. So, all right, here you go, bud. Yeah, I know you're hungry. I know you're hungry. Go ahead. Oh, look at that. Good Lord, I felt the teeth rake against the freaking tongs here. So, this little fella right here is going to get 2, but we're going to give it some time to eat that one first. And while we're waiting, we're going to go ahead and feed the coral cobra. I don't think we're going to get to see it. Most likely, we're just going to set the little food prey items on there so it can come out tonight when it gets dark, because these guys are almost exclusively nocturnal, and he's right inside there, but I always want to look to make sure. Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky. Who knows? Maybe he'll pop out of there and I'll thud the ground here. All right, you gonna come out, bud? I don't know. I doubt it. I know you're in there, but last time I did this, I just set them all on the ground a couple inches apart. And they were gone the next morning. And I think that's what we're going to have to do today. So we'll grab the other 2. We'll dry them off. Because he's a pretty small snake, even though he's 2 years old. But coral cobras are one of the smallest species of elapids. So we're just going to set them just like that. And like I said, the Aspidoleps lubricus will come out probably tonight and then be done with it. I wish we could feed the Indian cobra, but he's in shed and we don't get to do that. Pretty cool. All right, go ahead and lock this bad boy up right there. So when I'm done with the cages themselves, I always I lock them, then I walk over here and I hang up on the appropriate one. That was cage number 2. So we put it right there on cage number 2. And yes, I'm legal. So most of my snakes do not require a permit, but the ones that do require a permit, my permit from Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife is right there, right where it's supposed to be. So, all right, Mamba is hungry again. Let's feed the most venomous snake in the room. So, let's feed it again, I should say. And she gets 3 mice. All right, I know you want another one. Oh, yeah, you're ready. You're ready. Come here, bud. Come on. There you go. Come on. There you go. Notice how my hand is on the other side of the glass. There you go, bud. Go ahead. And just like that. The second one's always a lot calmer. It's like the first one. He's like, oh, I don't want it to get away. But he realizes it's me again. Make sure we shut the glass all the way. And there you go. Eastern green mamba. That is one venomous snake right there, guys. So, all right. What do we have left? The gaboon viper does not get fed today. We can go ahead and feed the rhino viper again because he gets 2 mice. And then after that, that is it for him. So in the wild, these guys don't eat a whole lot, right? Just like the gaboon viper only gets fed every 40 days. The rhino viper gets fed a little bit more often than that, probably bi-monthly, because it's still relatively young and growing. But as they get bigger, I slow down. I slow down the amount of times I feed it. I just increase the size of the food item. So, are you planning on getting more snakes? No, 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 no. I keep all my venomous snakes with the exception of my pair of bush vipers. I keep them all in this room right here. In this room, as you can see, there's a security camera up there. If any snake in this room, if it escaped, it would not even be able to crawl under the door. That's how secure this room is, right? And that's how important it is. So every nook and crack that could possibly be escaped through, even behind the stand there, has been filled with expanding foam. So pretty serious, man. Pretty serious stuff here. All right, rhino viper. Let me see if I can just go ahead and zoom in there. There we go. Set it right there. Okay. You want another one, bud? I know you do. Let's go ahead and dry off this mouse. Just a quick little dry. All right. I know you want another one. I know you do. Come on. You do. Boom! Boom. What an incredibly fast strike. What an absolutely incredibly fast strike. So, anyway, this little fella right here, hopefully we'll be able to be bred to my gaboon viper next year. We can create some gabinos. That's where you cross the two. So, we will see. He wasn't interested this year, but it might be a little bit premature. So, next year, he'll be, I don't know, 3.5 years old. He'll be well over 30 inches at that point. So, we will see. But that is it for him. And this snake room is like 82 degrees, and I am sweating my ass off. All right. Bada bang, put that away. Okay, there we go. Eastern green mamba. Putting it down. She's going to get one more, so we're just going to kind of chill and let him, her, whatever, finish its food. And I will extend this damn camera stand so we can see what's going on. He's like, yeah, I'm going to have another one here in just a second. So this is Dendroaspis angusticeps. That's the Latin name for the eastern green mamba. So I've had all mamba species except for the Jameson's mamba. Hey, Jesse, appreciate that. So I'll give you another look real quick. So those cages over there are 4x2x2. These cages here again are 10x3x3. And well, there's the command center. And these cages here are 8x3x2. So they're pretty large cages. That's why I don't have a ton of room for any more snakes. That, I think my wife would kill me. So we do have a couple other snakes. We have a pair of bush vipers in a planted enclosure in the dining room, right by the dining room window, which I'll give you guys a look at that here in a little bit. All right, Mr. Mamba, are you ready for your mouse number 3? And then you'll be done? Yeah, I think we'll do that. So, you know, every snake in this room is extremely dangerous, but this snake right here is one that I've actually had dreams where this thing has got me, and I'm just like, oh my God. You know, it's so fast. It's just so incredibly venomous. And that's why I don't take any chances. You see the glass right there? My hand is on the other side of the glass. See my hand right there? So, and we just try to be as safe as we possibly can right there. And I'll let it go while its fangs are occupied. I will slide the glass shut completely, and that will be the end of that. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, here we go. The monocled cobra is putting down its meal here. There we go. I don't know why I'm so drawn to monocled cobras. It was actually, besides some local rattlesnakes in my state, this was the first exotic venomous snake species I ever owned. Was a pair of monocled cobras back in 2003, I think it was. And so they hold a little near and dear to my heart. Okay, so with that being said, the diamondback is hungry for another one. So we're going to go ahead and oblige him, or her, excuse me. All right, grab ourselves another mouse here for this old lady of a diamondback. And we'll see what's going on here. I'm going to zoom back. Oh, shit. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay. So, you can see kind of where I'm at right here. Hands on the other side of the glass. Move the glass a little bit closer. And there you go. I know you want another one. Oh, good Lord. That was pretty violent. That was freaking violent, dude. Here, take it. You always... Oh, there we go. Grabbed it and held on to it. And outstanding. Okay. So we'll just leave this there for a second. We're going to go ahead and close the glass. And we will henceforth lock the glass. I think I got the right one. There we go. And go hang up the key. That is enclosure number 4. Oh, really? So I just walked over to where the keys are, which just happens to be by the Gaboon Viper, and she's thinking she'd get fed, and she freaking slammed her face into the glass trying to bite me. So, if here's to show you how big that head is. My hand is only an inch away, so there's no. Oh, okay. So that was my fault. We don't want to do that again. Let's not do that. So that's our 5-foot-long West African Gaboon Viper. Let me lower it down a little bit here. Kind of zoom in there for you so you can see. You know, in the venomous community, these are fairly common. They're easy to keep. They're easy to breed. And they're just really good snakes to have as far as venomous snakes are concerned. Are they dangerous? Abso-freaking-lutely. This snake right here will destroy your life. But they're relatively common. They're cheap. And regardless of that, they're absolutely stunningly beautiful. So, anyway, we're gonna back up. We do not want it to slam its face in the glass again, so we're not gonna do that. And here's the mamba putting down that third rat or third mouse. There you go. Take a look at that. While I figure out who's next. So the Indian cobra is done because it's in shed and it's not eating anyway. So we're going to go ahead and lock up its cage. Let's see. We got. Oh. And, you know, the mambas are another species. At the time when I got my first green mamba, which happened to be this very same species, you know, I was much younger, and it was fascinating and exciting because it was the most venomous snake I had ever had, and still is at this point. Are you, hey, Josh, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Are you referring to the green mamba here, or are you referring to the Gaboon Viper? But because a lot of snakes will eat eggs, even if they don't normally eat eggs. Especially like the monocled cobras and stuff like that. They'll eat eggs in a heartbeat. So, not something they would be able to do in the wild that often. You know, it's mostly when they're young, you know, mice. They can eat other snakes. The mama. Oh, mamba. Yeah, mambas will eat eggs for sure. They're arboreal. They live in the trees in Africa, and they will eat eggs, and they will eat baby birds. You know, that's one of their main prey items is birds, you know, and lizards and things like that they can actually catch in the trees. So, yeah, No stranger to eating that type of stuff. But yeah, this is probably my second favorite snake in the room because the king cobra is always going to be my first. Always going to be my first. Most of my snakes, Sean, a matter of fact, all of my snakes except for the monocled cobra and the diamondback are all naturally colored. Every single one of them are naturally colored. So, yeah, I do have a couple for sure. You know, I just like the way they look. They're beautiful, but those are the only two. And I have 12 snakes, so those are the only two that are not natural. But, you know, it's just a different thing. Just a different thing to look at. Different style, I guess. You know, same reason why people breed the hell out of ball pythons. I sure wish the king cobra was out, but he is not right now. The diamondback's a mutant. Well, speaking of the mutant, putting down his last mouse right there. You know, this snake is, when I got this snake, it was over 9 years old, and I've had it for a year and a half now. So this snake is somewhere around 11 years old, and in captivity, we'll see 20 years, 25 years. So just a very, very good snake. When my brother had it, he didn't spend a whole lot of time with it. And if you even walked into the room where it would just start rattling like freaking crazy. But it rarely rattles anymore because it sees me, it sees my wife, sees all of us a lot. So all of us, you know, it's just my wife and I that live here. But we have people in and out. And now the monocled cobra is complete. So, all right, we're going to give another mouse to Crotalus comatus on the very bottom down here. So let's shrink down. There we go. All right, bud. You're such a cool... You know, and I prefer elapids for the most part, but obviously I have rattlesnakes as well. But this rattlesnake in particular, to me, I love the stripe that goes, you know, about a third or a quarter of the way down its, you know, behind its neck, down its back. I love that dual stripe. It looks really cool, and the scales are highly keeled, which means they have a ridge in the center of the scale, as you can see right there. You see how the scales look right there. So they just really have a nice appearance to me, and they look great. And it's just been a really good snake. So let's get it a mouse real quick. Fella some food. And once again, these vipers, right? Rattlesnakes are vipers. They're just pit vipers. We don't want to feed them a ton of food because they're sedentary, right? They stay in one place. They don't move around a whole lot. They're not hunters that are constantly active like the cobras and stuff like that. So they're not burning a lot of calories. So we don't want to basically make them obese and have liver problems and things like that. Look at that. Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. I knew. You want another one? Oh, yes, you do. Look at that. You can see how far away my hand is. That's a solid 16 inches at least. So definitely want to be safe there. And when he grabs hold of these mice, just look at how hard he's holding onto there. Like he's just dumping venom into this creature. Hopefully he stops doing that one day when he realizes, hey, these are always going to be dead. So anyway, bada bing. Now this guy is done, and we're going to go ahead and lock up his cage and be done with it. Gotta get the damn lock on there. There we go. All right, yeah, you see the jeweler's lock on there? There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and put him back. So the rest of the, oh, you know what? The last one we're going to do is going to be the bush vipers in the kitchen. So let's go ahead and grab our little bucket here. Matter of fact, we'll open our door. Whee! Because inside this room, it's 82 degrees. Matter of fact, it's closer to 84 degrees. And outside the room, it's 73 degrees because the AC is rocking in the house. So we're going to walk down the dark hallway through the kitchen. Thank you, Sean. And there's my wife. She's like, when I first met her, she couldn't even look at a snake on TV. She couldn't even look at a snake on TV without freaking out. And now we have some of the most dangerous snakes there are. So This is the West African bush viper enclosure in front of the back main room. So, doggos and wife, honorable mentions, of course. Oh, yes, there's one of them. That's Panda. Panda's like, these snakes better not get to me, Daddy. No, they better not. And she's 13 years old. She's still a young lady, though.
That's Big Baby.
That's Big Baby. Okay, so let's get to why we came in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the kitchen light on here. There we go. And then we'll take off the lock. Shush, doggy. Oh, she's fine. So when I open the cage, like you see there, the door is open. Before I go shoving my hands in there, I'll always locate the snakes. All right, so right now we have one right there, and she looks like she's ready to eat. I don't know if you guys can see it that well. She's right, there we go. There she is. Beautiful little freaking arboreal viper. And then I sometimes gotta look around. These snakes can literally be right in my face. And I'm just like, where are you? So, okay, I see the male is actually down here. Here, I'm gonna show you guys where it's at. Right behind there. You see the male right there? Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our pinky. This is a pinky rat, right? These guys are a little bit, they can readily accept larger prey than pinky mice. So the next step up was this. Okay, damn plants are in the way here. Here we go. You want it? There we go. There we go. So they're gonna get two of them if they'll eat both. Sometimes he eats both, sometimes he doesn't. But the female right there, she eats both probably 95% of the time, unless she's in shed or just in a pissed off mood. So let's grab hers. And I know she's hungry just by the way she's looking in there. Hey, you want one? Okay, let me get that better on the tongs. Okay, there we go. Hey, are you gonna eat something? Sometimes I gotta play with them, right? I'll rub it against them and get them agitated, and next thing you know, they're like, kaplow. Are you really gonna be crappy right now? Wake up, dude. Hello, hello. Huh. Really? You always eat. And of course, she's gonna wait till I freaking get on the live stream, and now she's not gonna eat. Are you just sleeping or what? What's up? Come on. I'll reverse against the scales, and sometimes that'll get it. But you know what? Yeah, the snake is broken. That is what it would seem. So, with that being said, we're gonna see if we can just kind of gently get it out of there. I had to bring snake hook in here, so I gotta be careful with this. I'm not grabbing her at all. Oh, there we go. All right, she's nice and awake now. Yeah, some good keeper I am, huh? Look at that beautiful snake. That thing is just amazing. And these things come in just incredible colors too. Like dark purples and dark blues and black. So, what's up? You gonna eat this now? And no, you're not. Wow, you're just having an attitude right now. So what I'll do, because she's not eating right now, there are, you know, pill bugs and potato bugs that are in this cage. So sometimes, like I'm going to do now, I'll just take this little dead pinky, or look, there's a cockroach right there. So I'll set them on the ground because they need to eat too. And I'll come back in a couple days and that'll be nothing but a skeleton. Let's see, how is the other one doing here? Yes, the broken freaking viper. Good Lord, man. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Okay. But yeah, he's working on his meal. Working on it right there. Yeah, I was hesitant to get a pair of these for a long time, and I finally pulled the trigger. Oh yeah, dude. These snakes are just amazing. They're really beautiful. These are the African versions of the South American vipers. Why my brain just went dead on me. The eyelash vipers down in South America. So this is like the African version. Here, let's see if I can get a little bit closer. Get it a little bit closer so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, beautiful snakes. You see the red that's mixed in with the yellow kind of yellow gold color. You know, there's a lot of red. And when she was young, when I first got her, I mean, she could barely even eat a freaking Pinky Mouse, like a day-old Pinky Mouse. She was just solid gold and yellow. And as she's getting older, these red highlights are starting to come in. So, what's up, dude? You want to try one of these? You had no problem eating one of these last time. Yeah, you're just not having it. That's okay. All right, I guess that's gonna be it for you. All right, no big deal. No big deal. Okay. So anyway, we'll feed the other one off camera, the second meal. Oh, I'm not sure what the Louisa is, but I'm definitely familiar with false water cobras. You know, definitely the safer alternatives. So we're just going to go ahead and close this up real quick. And you'll notice that even though this isn't in the reptile room, there's a security camera right there. So, I don't know, has everybody seen Ozzy the iguana? I call him Ozzy the asshole, but because he hates me. He hates my eternal existence. So I actually posted a video and people were telling me that this cage is small. Just so you know, that glass right there, from bottom to top is 6 feet. And from the center of the cage right there to the very back corner is like 5 feet. The glass itself is 5 feet wide from there, but the cage from that point to that point is like 7 feet. I can literally open the doors and I can walk inside there. Jesse, yeah, it does happen, and you know, you try your best not to let it happen. I had a Western green mamba who got a severe mouth infection, and they're prone for doing that. And despite antibiotics and veterinary care, it didn't make it. So that is the only snake I've lost in freaking years. Like, and it could be something as small as a piece of bark that got stuck in her mouth or in her gum, and it caused an infection. And once that infection takes hold, man, it's crazy. And I had a couple different types of antibiotics that just didn't do anything. So anyway, this is Ozzy. Ozzy's big. Here, matter of fact, I'll stand back here. We'll give you a good reference to a good reference to how big this cage is. I'm gonna go stand in front of it. Oh, Grand Cayman, yeah, okay, I'm familiar with that. I just wasn't familiar with the Latin name. So, here's me in front of what people have called a small cage for an iguana. This cage is freaking more than big enough. So, I can actually go in here, but if I do that, he's gonna freaking fly like Superman at me because he hates my life and he wants me dead. But my wife, on the other hand, she could walk in there right now, scratch this guy behind the freaking ears, and like have tea and cookies with this guy. He loves her to death, but I have always been a threat.
He does not hate you.
He does too hate me.
Stop telling people.
Here, come here and tell people. Hey, matter of fact, show them. Go ahead and go inside there.
That's my big boy. Look at him. Tell my big boy. Look at that. Dear big baby. Who's mama's big baby?
Yeah, if I did that, he'd be slamming into the glass right now. So she's going to go into this quote-unquote small cage. Yeah. Of course, it'd be this time that the damn guy launches at her. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Are you freaking kidding me? If I tried to do that, it's 50-50 whether I lose a finger or not.
I'm mama.
Yes, you definitely are.
Mama. That's my baby. That's
so
my
this horrifically abused iguana. Yeah, Sean, you ain't lying, man. I have never been. I'm the reason this thing is freaking alive. Okay.
Yeah, my big baby. Yeah, my big baby.
When we got him, he was a little guy and he was skin and bones. You could see every bone in his body. Yeah, we built a cage for him. He stayed outside the entire summer. Started eating the day after we got him, and then that was 5 years ago. So he's big, but he does. You can see the end of his mouth right there. He likes to run and slam his face into the freaking glass when he sees me. Yeah. So Jesse, he definitely gets to come out. He probably could come out more often, but he comes out 2-3 times a week, and
tell the truth.
I'll open the freaking door right there.
OCD.
Oh yeah,
issues.
OCD.
He has really bad OCD issues. So his whole face kind of looks like that because sometimes he just freaks out and he literally will just slam his whole face and just. I don't know if it's just misguided and misplaced rage issues or what, but he just zoom.
Yeah. And this morning, was it this morning? I opened the cage to put some food in there, or was it yesterday? Either way. And he literally ran out the cage and tried to attack me, and I'm jumping all over the place so he wouldn't bite me. And next thing you know, she walks up and she just starts petting him like he's a freaking teddy bear. I'm just like, I hate you so much. The lizard, not my wife. Yeah, green iguanas, everybody's got a green iguana, but the problem with that is most people have them and don't take care of them and they die or they get metabolic bone disease because they don't got the right lighting. And there's literally 3 different types of lights inside that cage to include the ceramic heat bulb in the back. So, yeah, he's happy in there. The fake tree that's in the back, he's definitely made a number on over the last few weeks. But anyway, enough of the iguana. We are done with the snake feeding. As done as we're gonna be. This one didn't want to eat, and that's fine. That like subscribe button, I would appreciate that. I'm just a hobby trying to share it with you guys. What are you? Oh yeah, okay. All right, but yeah, hit that like button, subscribe if you like. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you all here in about 10 days or so. Terry, say goodbye.
Woo woo.